I'd like to ask now, DepEd. Yes, sir. Yusek Garma. Salamat sa pagdalo muli. Sir, so uh, in addition to what you told us in the previous hearing, which was post-Tacloban, now very, very unfortunately, we are
Yeah.
post-Zamboanga. Ano na pong ginagawa ng DepEd in response po sa ganitong insidente muli?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. At magandang umaga po sa lahat. Again, we would like to reiterate no, our sincere sympathy and condolences to the victims. Not only the victims, Madam Chair, but also those who are affected by the incident. So if there's one thing that we learned from the Tacloban case, Madam Chair, is not just to address the needs of the victims, but really to address the needs, particularly yung psychological and emotional aspect ng uh, other learners, teachers, the administrators who have witnessed the actual shooting incident. So same with the Zamboanga case natin with the Ateneo de Zamboanga University. So immediately po, right after the incident happened, yung pong regional director natin from the DepEd Region 9 immediately went to Zamboanga City to provide assistance. Nakita po namin na isa po sa malaking maaring pangangailangan is really to address yung psychosocial needs no ng ibang learners. And looking at the profile of the school, of the junior high school department, masyadong maraming bata yung kasi daytime at during class hours nangyari. So immediately we have already committed and offered the assistance of our in-house psychosocial first aid facilitators from DepEd, Madam Chair. And in coordination with DOH and DSWD, we were able to come up already with the list kung sino po yung pwedeng tumulong sa Ateneo de Zamboanga to really address no yung pangangailangan naman ho ng ibang bata at ibang teachers natin. In fact, nagsimula na po tayo. Yung pong nasa hospital na victim natin na wounded, we have already conducted no one-on-one psychosocial first aid. So nakausap na po at medyo nakapaghinga na po ng kanyang sentiment yung wounded, and evidently may trauma po talaga yung bata. And in fact, I think will be a very, very serious concern, Madam Chair. Dahil even with the Tacloban case po natin, we're glad that we have worked with the SWD on the training of trainers po natin on psychosocial first aid, not only for the school, but for the entire region na po ito. And hopefully, maduplicate po natin for Region 9. But until now, mayroon pa hong feedback on the Tacloban case na may trauma pa ho yung mga bata. In fact, meron pa hong hindi makapasok. So we still employ alternative delivery modality for hindi po namin pinipilit talaga munang pumasok yung mga bata. And probably these cases would probably entail na ho, Madam Chair, yung medyo mas malalim na hong intervention on post-traumatic syndromes. So, and Madam Chair, if I may continue, one thing that we have learned and hopefully ma-institutionalize na po natin is really the need for the drills. Nakita po natin with the Tacloban case na naging chaotic yung post incident, yung hindi ho alam ng mga bata kung saan pupunta, even the parents di nila alam kung saan pupunta. So yung pong na-develop naming protocol for the active human threat or active human induced threat drills po natin. Nag-pilot po kami nito mga 2 months ago in Manila, in Manila Science High School, and we have developed that protocol with the help of PNP, and we will be rolling out the nationwide simultaneous drill po August 25. Next week po yan, Madam Chair. Kasi nakita po namin na importante ho yung preparation and readiness and awareness ng school to react no immediately to react kung meron hong ganitong ongoing threat no. And of course the post malaking bahagi po doon sa drills namin yung tinatawag po naming reunification stage, kung saan alam ho ng mga involved kung saan pupunta, saan mag-iipon-ipon, together with the medical responders, the police enforcers, nasa isang lugar. So we will be testing that out, Madam Chair, by next week. Tingnan po namin kung ano po ang magiging effect nito at the school level. And we are doing this in collaboration with DILG. And we are hopeful with the drills, Madam Chair. Baka it would also serve as a deterrent doon sa mga individuals, kasi baka mamaya malaman nila na ready ang school, that would somehow prevent them from doing it, kasi baka that would give them more motivation pag alam nilang malang hindi aware ang school about the violence or that the incident that has to happen. So basically, these are the things that we have learned from Tacloban, and we are trying to do our best, Madam Chair. Ang school po natin, unfortunately, lahat po ng nangyayari externally, ang mag-absorb po ng impact nito yung eskwelahan natin, because yung school po kasi is really a primary convergence space. And there's a really big chance that it will happen inside the school because maraming tao, mahabang oras na nasa loob sila. So in terms of heightening our security measures, Madam Chair, as reported during our last meeting, we have already made an inventory of how many guards, how many CCTVs, how many metal detectors, what are the procedures that we are doing. So continuous po yung improvement namin, Madam Chair. But unfortunately, talagang resources po yung isa sa malaking balakid po natin. And this is why we would like to appeal to the help and support of Your Honor, because what we would like to do during the budget proposal is to lump everything that has something to do with school safety and school learning into hopefully maging line item na, Madam Chair. We'll be coming up with the proposed, nasa wish list po sana namin, but maganda po maging line item na, kasi at this point po MOE lang ho yung ginagamit eh. But because of the variance of MOE from one small school to another big school, hindi ho pare-pareho yung capacity. But if it's already a line item, hopefully ma-address po namin yung ano. And on the preventive side, Madam Chair, magandang development po kasi we are able to engage, and now we are in constant communication with the Liga ng mga barangay. Kasi ang paniwala po namin, kahit mag-usap kami at the central, regional, division level, I think where it matters most is really in the community and the home. Hindi po 24 hours na nasa amin yung mga bata. And in fact, during calamities or during suspension of classes, minsan mas marami pa hong oras yung bata na nasa mga bahay-bahay nila. Kaya I think malaking bagay po if the barangays or the communities can really help us on this aspect. And we are strengthening yung parent effectiveness law natin, Madam Chair. We have already translated that in DepEd. Ang tawag po namin dyan kaagapay. So we really would like to make premium no yung role po ng parents in the molding. Again, Madam Chair, rest assured po that DepEd is doing all it can to make our schools secured, safe and secured, and a happy place for our learners. But of course, we have to balance it. Ayaw naman nating magbukang fortified prison yung ating mga eskwelahan. No? As much as possible, we'd like to provide a welcoming environment for a school. Kaya po yung external factors that we are dealing with, dapat po talagang ma-extend. Ang belief po namin, nag-i-interplay po yung influence, yung intention, yung motivation, at yung behavior. And I think if we are able to make all these interplaying components or elements positive, yung act po ng isang bata, ng individual would also be positive. So kung negative po yung components na yon, definitely it will manifest as the act ng isang individual. So Madam Chair, yung po yung from the part of DepEd, and we are uh, extending our invitation to all sectors, private, government agencies to help us out. And at the same time, we'll be cooperating with the other agencies insofar as making sure that our school environment is safe. And also would like to add, Madam Chair, yung strengthening po namin ng sports and scouting program. We believe that kung medyo preoccupied yung ating mga estudyante, no, on this kind of activities, it would help uh, para mawala po sa kanilang isipan yung bad motivations or yung bad influence can be replaced by positive influences. Maraming salamat, Madam Chair, for the opportunity.
Maraming salamat din po, Yusek Garma. Tulad nung nakaraang hearing, para sa inyong comprehensive at saka detalyadong input. And as you said nga po, interplay yung problema, and therefore interplay din dapat yung response natin, and preventive, proactive na response sa problemang ito. Parang yung intersectionality na sinabi ni ED Barbara May kanina. It's just sad, no, but a reality today na kailangan tuloy magkaroon ng protocols and drills on active human-induced threats. So hindi na lang po yung usual na earthquake drills natin na duck, cover, and hold. Meron na rin pong reunification, hindi lang sa isang physical space after any earthquake, pero after any human-induced threat na kung mag-materialize, na sana ay huwag na muli, tulad nung naranasan natin in these past two cases. And also very well appreciated po ng committee yung realization na sinabi nyo na ang mag-absorb talaga ng effect nitong mga sa ngayon necessary responses sa nakikita ng DepEd ay yung eskwelahan mismo at yung mga estudyante at iba pang academic sectors mismo. And most of all, it's good na kahit umaaksyon ng department tungkol sa sitwasyong ito, aware din po kayo na dapat yung balanse po ng learning pa rin, a conducive environment for learning while school safety pa rin. So, mahirap kasi mahirap at komplikado yung sitwasyon. But let's work on it together. Mula sa committee po, ang mag-i-input po kami ng best legislative recommendations that we can make in support of sa mga stakeholders, including DepEd. Kanina, meron nga pong protocols on active human-induced threats. Meron din po bang ipinatutupad or ipatutupad na threat assessment protocol? So part ng preventive po.
Yeah, yes, Madam Chair. In fact, inclusive naman po yung ating assessment. So not only the human-induced but also yung mga natural calamities po natin. One of the things that we are doing is really to map it. Minamapping po namin kasi with the limited resources we have to invest on where the situation really happens or prevalent po nangyayari. Based on our initial mapping, Madam Chair, it really happens on yung mga highly urbanized areas. So again, hopefully ma'am, game changer po yung counselor associates natin, yung mga school counselor associates. So right now we have 10,000. We are in the process of hiring na po yung mga SEAs natin. But even for a 1:1 ratio, 45, almost 46,000 po yan, Madam Chair, na requirement natin. But for the 10,000, unahin na po namin yung mga medyo mga hotspots po na tinatawag natin. And let's see kung magkakaroon po ng positive attribution yung presence ng atin pong mga school counselor associates together with the learner formation officers. Bagamat yung LFOs po natin, Madam Chair, hindi pa po yan budgeted, but we will do it by designation. hiwalay po kasi yon, kasi the LFOs would probably address more on the disciplinary measures while the SCAs would be on the preventive, no, yung mental health issues. The LFOs would also be dealing on the anti-bullying natin. So kasi baka ho hindi lumapit, baka ho pagka na-identify yung ating mga counselors as parang prefect of discipline, hindi lalo silang layuan. So ito